And I feel like you have one more thing that can one up anybody that makes you better.
Yeah.
So that's my argument.
I'll put it this way. The main reason Jordan didn't have a 3-pointer because it wasn't as necessary as it was when Kobe started.
Right, so but see, that goes back to my point. When you said stats at the end of the day, I think stats are gonna lie. I just do. Just like I think Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game lie. He was playing against like YMCA players that they knew people and they brought him into the league. He scored 100 points on them. Yeah. Like that don't count. Like if he was doing that, if he had that 100-point game against Bill Russell, it might have been like legit because that was a thing at the time, big guys. But when you go back and watch his highlights, come on, man. He was 7'2", 7'1". Those guys look like they were like 6'8". He was catching the ball and just laying it up. I guess it is an era type thing, but I can't give LeBron greatest player of all time. You can't fail when it matters most.
I'm not saying he's the greatest player of all time.
You can't argue with.
I just made the point that overall he's a better player than Kobe. Now, because I'm gonna say like this, even though Kobe,
I'll let him go.
Kobe did what was was a lesser grade Michael Jordan with little iterations that were different. However, at the same time, even though they had the same mentality, the same results didn't come out of it because Kobe didn't learn how to play basketball until later in his career. He didn't learn how to win correctly because even though he had Shaq, he still didn't know how to win, and he had to have that era where he was really the ball, that ball guy down. I'm gonna get these buckets and nobody else is gonna get in my way. He needed to have that era. I get out of his system, which was around that time he was playing against Phoenix and they blew that 3-1 lead. And he didn't have one Kwame Brown and Smush Parker and all that. He needed to get that era out of his system in order for him to go to that next level where he likes to learn how to play basketball, which came when he went against the Celtics and the Magic. However, before you go, if you notice, the only championship that really matters that he really won on his own besides the ones with Shaq, and Shaq was a big part of the reason they won in the first three, was the Celtics, that second time he went against the Celtics. Because we all know that Magic one was cool, but
nobody expected the Magic to win.
Exactly. That's why that didn't mean much, even though he got it, because they should have won that. Because really people thought him and LeBron was going to square up that season anyway, but LeBron fell short. But then if he didn't win against the Celtics that year, his career's looked at a whole lot differently. However, go ahead.
So let me ask you this. What's a bigger knock on a player's career? Blowing a 3-1 lead in the first round or getting swept in the NBA Finals? Twice.
Listen, even though I say LeBron is a better overall player, I'm not saying they don't have equally as bad mess-ups as the one. Because Kobe shooting them out of that Detroit series.
Come on, man. You know he was going through that legal.
Hey, look, he's the one that says you got to play basketball. He's the one that says, hey, no matter what, you got to play basketball. So he got to hold himself too. I understand totally what he was going through. However, you still step on that court. That means you either got to hoop or not hoop. And the main reason they lost was because of Kobe. Shaq was dominating as usual.
Ben Wallace might have something to say about that though, but
Shaq still got his buckets though, regardless. Okay. But Kobe was getting shut down. There's no disputing that.
I don't know about. He had a lot going on, man. He was facing 25, 30 years. That's a lot to think about.
He was still getting locked up.
You don't know when he walked off that court. He didn't know whether or not they were gonna be like, Kobe Bryant, you under arrest. He probably was thinking about it the whole time while he out there. You don't know what those people doing. While you out there hooping, they investigating, coming up. I know that had to be in the back of his head.
I understand, but he still got locked up.
Yeah, he got locked up. Okay,
he was getting clamped.
All right, so what about this right here, right? So, for all those LeBron fans, right? So, what do you have to say about the primary defender, right? That LeBron guarded, or he was supposed to be matched up with, in most of his NBA finals, ended up winning Finals MVP. You had Danny Green, you had Kawhi Leonard, you had Kevin Durant twice, Iguodala.
Because
his primary player won MVP.
he's looked at as the best player. So whoever wins the team and whoever's guarding him and stopping him, that's what they're going to get the Finals MVP. That's why Steph didn't get it.
Oh boy.
I'm not.
Iguodala got that MVP, but
I'm not saying that Iguodala was the best player.
Iguodala changed the series.
Yeah, he changed. Yeah, agree.
Why? Because LeBron couldn't sit. Who was it at the time that was on that team? Was it Harrison Barnes or somebody? He couldn't. When have you ever what? I can't even believe this. What series have you ever seen LeBron or game defend the best player on the court? I've seen Kobe do it. I've seen Jordan do it. You have never. When I used to watch LeBron play in the
Chicago
playoffs,
Bulls, Derrick Rose.
he guarded Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
What, one shot?
He pretty much kind of clamped them up a little bit in the series, and that's what put them over the Bulls at that time.
All right, so check this out, right? It was that playoff series against Indiana. He didn't guard Paul George. You know who he guarded? He guarded Lance Stevenson. LeBron guarded Lance Stevenson. You know who guarded Paul George? J.R. Smith. Why?
Okay.
Why would you do that? Just why? Yeah, I remember. I got a little footage. If you want.
He does shy away from the big moments. He does shy away from them.
I'm not saying I disagree. I know.
I'm just saying,
this,
man,
I know this is a fact.
You can't.
But you
like I
have
said,
to,
numbers
you
lie,
have to
man.
Yeah, but you have to look at the overall player at the end of the day. Because if you just look at singular categories, then I could say, whoever got the most blocks that season was the best player. So we have to look at everything.
I am looking at everything, and I'm trying to find an area, or why would anybody? Don't get me wrong. LeBron is a top 3 to 5 player in NBA history, depending on who you ask. I probably have him top 3, top 4, maybe. I still got him up there. I just don't have him over those other two guys.
Who was the other two guys?
Jordan and Kobe.
You know what?
Kobe. Y'all get mad if y'all want to, but it's really Kobe's really top 15.
All right, so I want you. First of all, I want you to name 5 players better than Kobe. I don't even want you to give me 14. I just want you to give me 5.
All right, so Tim Duncan, that's one.
Accomplishment wise, yeah, but like individual, no. I can't, because if you're talking about overall, like you said, that's tough to say. That's
but
you arguing accomplishment and talking about
what Kobe excelled in was
Before
areas.
you get on, let me
all right, go ahead, because I'm gonna use that same thing against you. Go ahead.
Okay. LeBron's he's in the top 10.
Why is he better than Tim Duncan?
Who? Talking about LeBron or Kobe?
LeBron James. He ain't a better defender. He ain't a better rebounder. He's a better passer, maybe. Is he a better scorer? Was he, or is he his? I mean, Tim Duncan played an era where it was big man. He did good for that era. He still probably 24,000 points. He's up there. He beat LeBron in the finals twice, I think. LeBron got him once, but we all know why. Yeah, it wasn't because of the shot he made.
Ray Allen, yeah. Because LeBron did shoot a shot before he just bricked it.
Yeah, okay. So, when did LeBron pass Tim Duncan?
Because he's not a better defender.
He's a better what?
He's a better defender than 90% of the people in the NBA.
Who?
He's not the best scorer, but he's better than scoring at 90% of the NBA. So he just is.
LeBron is a better defender than 90% of the people in the NBA?
90%.
All right, we're going to have to do another podcast or something, and I'm going to have to bring, clips. We're going to have something right there. If you ever watch the Lakers, you ever watch LeBron play, most of the time when somebody get a wide open shot or they get a layup, he always turns to his teammates and does this. He's lost on the defensive assignment.
You gotta start using old LeBron though. I'm not saying it's not justified, but I understand what you're trying to say when you bring old LeBron into this.
What you mean old LeBron? I'm talking about young LeBron. Like young LeBron, like
only reason I thought you said old LeBron because you said Lakers stuff.
Even young LeBron, I don't remember him ever guarding the best player, being a good perimeter defender. He's big, he's strong. You ain't gonna run by him.
When he put effort in on defense, there was a point in time where he could have won defensive player.
But he doesn't though. That's the thing.
I get he's not consistent, but it has shown over his career that he is definitely able and capable of doing so.
He's bigger. He's just big. He's big and fast, like 6'8", 265. They said can run like a deer. He was a tight end in football. Like ain't too many people gonna run by him.
Right.
But I've seen some players cook him that's like not top tier players. Like I seen Lou Alding cook him in that Chicago. Yeah, Lou Alding used to get buckets.
People like to shit on Lou Alding. Lou Alding was alright.
Yeah,
he was nice.
Yeah, Danny Granger used to get LeBron buckets. I ain't saying
he was
I'm
alright,
saying top tier players. Like of course I could throw Kevin Durant out there. I ain't even gonna do him like that. But I'm talking about those players where people forget about. Like Carmelo Anthony used to give LeBron buckets. Yeah, I know Carmelo, he was a scorer, but what I'm saying is like, when has LeBron ever locked anybody up? His greatest defensive play is a chase down block. He wasn't the primary defender. He made a great play, but he's not an on ball defender. You know what I mean?
He's not a great on ball defender.
Yeah, he's not a great on ball.
He's all right. He's a
but
good one.
Jordan and Kobe were great on ball defenders. I promise you. They made all defensive teams probably 9 or 10 times in their career. Wait, first, second, third, somewhere in there. You know, I guarantee you. I know it.
No, actually, you know what?
I know it.
I wouldn't put. Now I'm gonna revert what I said. I wouldn't put LeBron over Michael. Not
why. You said you wouldn't put LeBron over Michael?
I wouldn't.
Why?
Because it does very important. Like the point he made, even though it is a subjective thing, like the heart, where you're gonna put yourself out there when it matters the most. You need that to win. You don't need someone to back away. No matter how good you are, if you're backing away, you're taking yourself out the most important play when they need you the most. So you need heart to really win. So that's why I can't put LeBron over Michael. I can put him over Kobe though.
I mean, you can't put him over one and not the other. They were essentially the same player.
You're talking about heart, and you said you can't put LeBron over Jordan. That doesn't make it.
No. Michael had more heart.
Okay, because it sounded like you were saying the opposite. That's why I was confused.
No. Michael Jordan would put himself out there at the most important part of the game. No matter what happens, he's just like, look, fuck it. I'm going to help us win this. I'm not going to back away and like be the huge, humongous rhinoceros in the room and then back away. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever watched LeBron play in a Game 7? Can you tell us a Game 7 by the way he's playing, or does he play like it's Game 1? Like he has another chance?
All right.
When you watch Jordan in closeout games, when you watch Kobe in closeout games, those guys are so aggressive because they feel like if they're going to lose, it's going to be because of them. It's not going to be because of Derek Fisher, and it's not going to be because of Steve Kerr. Okay. I'm going to take the first 9 shots of the game, and if I miss all 9 of them, oh well, because I want to win that bad. LeBron still come out. He's kicking it out to Corver. He's kicking it out to whoever's standing in the corner. He's still playing like he has another chance. And it's just like, that's...
However, about Kobe, though, Kobe doesn't really have too many breakout playoff and finals games. As great as games he had during his career, his finals games repertoire of, besides a few, what memorable moment in the finals does Kobe really have?
Memorable moments in the finals?
Besides the one in Indiana when he was playing with Shaq.
Let me see. He had like 45, I think, against Orlando a few times.
I think it was only like once. That was a lot. He scored 40 that first game.
All right, so moments of scoring output.
Moments.
Because I remember moments of tight game in Boston where he cooked Ray Allen from the free throw line like twice to close that game out. In Boston, I think to send it back to LA for Game 7. He may not have had 35 points. He may have had 27, but the Celtics were the best defensive team, so you couldn't expect that 45 points usually like that. But the 2 biggest shots of the game, when it was seconds left, Kobe was shooting that shot. He was not running the pick and roll kicking it to Derek Fisher. LeBron would have been kicking it to Dellavedova and whoever else, and they missed, and it's just like, well, we made the correct basketball play, but Kobe ain't going for that.
However, LeBron does have, iconic moment.
Where at?
The Boston series.
That's not the finals though. And
No. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me get to it. I agree with you. It's not the finals. However, as compared to Kobe's, all right, let's bring in the whole playoffs then. How many iconic moments does Kobe have in playoffs?
a bunch.
Okay, listen, or names for you.
It's too many, man. That's the difference between that's like asking me to name every clutch shot Kobe ever hit, and then ask you to name every one LeBron ever hit. You'll name them because it was so few. You can't name Kobe's. You remember? I can sit and name LeBron's game-winning shots.
But
Kobe's really ain't that efficient when you look at him.
No, what I'm saying, it doesn't matter. I ain't talking about efficiency right now. I'm talking about
that matters though.
No. I'm talking about when you look at everything. Even you talking about how many big games and everything like that. That's like saying how many big scoring games do you remember from LeBron?
Oh,
Paul Pierce.
How many do you remember from Kobe though? Like
even though LeBron gets points, he isn't a scorer. Is that? He gets buckets, but he's not a scorer.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying, you getting away from my point. What I'm trying to make, like you're gonna name the big games LeBron had, right? Kobe had so many. It's just like I can't sit and really pinpoint. I know he did. I mean, he wouldn't be Kobe without those moments. You gotta think about it. Yeah, LeBron had his moments, but like you can remember LeBron's easier. Like you have the Celtics. You have the Pistons series. We scored the last 25. You have Golden State when he had 50. You can remember his big moments because he doesn't have as many as Kobe. And it's not even really, to me, it's not even really debatable about who had bigger moments or bigger scoring outputs because we all agree that Kobe was a better scorer. So, I mean, that would kind of be pointless. It's just like I said, game-winning shots. I can sit and name the 10 game-winning shots that LeBron had in his career probably. You won't name all of Kobe's. You're going to leave something out. Because he had his catalog, his resume is that big. LeBron's isn't that big. You remember. It's like, how many good songs do you remember from Trinidad James? All gold everything, right? How many good songs do you remember from Lil Wayne? Like, you remember all gold everything because it's like his only one. But when you start talking about like another, it's not the same. The resumes are not the same. They're not the same. They'll never be the same. It's nothing in my.
I fuck with that because I like Lil Wayne. I might have totally missed the point.
It's nothing that I feel LeBron could do to pass Kobe as a greater player. Because even if he ended up with 7 championships, he passed Michael and Kobe. Look how many tries it would take for him to do that. For him to get 7, he would have to go 7 and 6? I mean, he went to the finals 13 times. That's good. But, I mean, if they had 13 chances, you got to think about it. Jordan was 6-0. You kind of have to think if he hadn't retired for 2 years, they would have won 8 straight.
Debatable.
Okay, well he won 1 of 2. That's 7. I just said that's the only way he gonna pass him, and he didn't even get to 10 tries. He didn't even get to 8. Well, he got to 8, and then he got 7. Kobe is 5 and 7. All he had to do was win 2 more. Say he didn't have that legal trouble going on in Detroit.
They probably wasn't gonna beat Detroit either way.
Okay,
because Detroit was they were a better team. There's a Lakers. Think about the Lakers, especially the earlier Lakers. The teams they face, they didn't have.
We're going by teams. Okay.
No. I'm the teams they faced didn't have really wasn't smarter than them until they got to Detroit. Detroit was the smartest team they played against because in the finals they played against the Nets. They were gonna wash them.
Yeah.
They were nice, but they wasn't beating the Lakers.
That's like saying, all right, so that's
the Nets, the Pacers.
That's the equivalent of saying LeBron would not have as many finals trips if he didn't play in the Eastern Conference. That's undebatable.
No,
he played. Listen to the best player LeBron played while he was in the East. His whole career probably was Paul George. Name a better player he played against in the East. You won't. He played against. I remember he played his first playoff series
It
was
always comes down to that.
because
you
his
can't
first
escape
playoff
it. He
series
in
was
the
against.
Eastern Conference.
Listen to these players' first playoff teams they played against. I remember. I'm a basketball encyclopedia, right? So look,
All right,
Jordan's first playoff series was what against like it was either the Celtics or the Pistons. I think it was the Celtics. I think it was Larry Bird he couldn't get by, right? Or it was the bad boy Pistons. Kobe's was Utah. LeBron's first playoff series was against Gilbert Arenas and Larry Hughes. You tell me who had tougher opponents on the way to, I guess, the land of prosperity.
No, I was talking about in the land of prosperity.
Oh, in the land of prosperity?
Yeah, I was talking about the Lakers when they faced that's why they lost to the Pistons, because even though the Lakers are great, they faced somebody smarter than them, which they did. They lost.
I'm trying to think. Okay, the Lakers beat
Sixers, Indiana.
Hey, we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. And New Jersey. Those are their finals opponents. Now, you could say their teams before they got there were better, but when they got there, that's who they played. In one year, they almost didn't even lose a game.
Oh yeah, 15-1. Yeah, I remember that. That was the
Yeah.
Sixers.
Yeah, Sixers won, but everybody knew they was gonna beat the Sixers anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I give you credit with that, but you know the point still stands. On the way, the best player LeBron ever played in the East was Paul George, and he didn't guard him. By the way, I forgot to mention that.
I mean, sometimes, yeah, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. So,
Think about it. He played Toronto about 4 times.
played against
Kyle Lowry,
George,
DeRozan.
Carmelo Anthony. So we played against D Wade at one point.
In the playoffs, in the East.
He might not have ever played against D Wade in the playoffs.
Nah.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So think about it. Paul George.
He played against Melo at one point.
What, with the Knicks or something? I think the Knicks might have made it in 2012, or they might have lost something. I can't remember, but
Nah, they never played him.
all right. So Paul George, Paul George is the best player LeBron ever played in the Eastern Conference Final.
I still don't
Eastern
know if that's
Conference.
correct, because Chauncey Billups wasn't trash, but he was older.
Yeah, Paul George is better than Chauncey Billups, and I like Chauncey Billups.
Fair.
at that time.
That's fair.
Hey, I mean, even if you say Chauncey Billups is better, when you start comparing names, whoever you want to say, if you want to say Chauncey Billups is better than Paul George, let's roll with that. Chauncey Billups ain't better than Larry Bird.
Who's gonna say that?
I'm just saying, like, that's my point. LeBron,
Also, However,
So
you can't
he was
control
comparing
errors
it
though
to-
either. You can't control the errors.
see, there we go. That's that LeBron logic right there, right?
It's not it's a fact.
No,
It's
no,
even
I'm not
LeBron
even saying you're a LeBron fan. Like when you start talking about LeBron and you start bringing up stuff like that, it's just like everything is like boom, boom, boom. It's just like they'll bring the point up, and then when you like prove it wrong, it's just like, okay, yeah, we gotta change this up. You gotta flip the page. It's something different.
I'm gonna tell you why, because everyone will be able to adapt. Because at the end of the day, these are all-time great players. No matter what era they're in, they're gonna adapt. Now, am I saying LeBron would have more championships if he played in that era? I'm not gonna say that.
All right, so which players you think I have a harder time adjusting or would be easier? The players today playing in the early era or the guys now playing in the softer era?
Nah,
I think Larry
LeBron
Bird
would flourish, and this is why. He'll be allowed to have the LeBron system because back then there used to be just one guy, or two, and they used to like kind of just center it around him, and LeBron would be like kind of the center of the team, so he would flourish in that era. He would be a lot bigger and stronger than the people in that era.
Yeah.
He still have to learn how to play basketball, because he didn't learn how to play basketball until he got to Miami.
All right, so check this out, right? So which rules we playing with too, because that matter too, right? So if you're talking about playing in the early 90s, 80s, whatever. All right, so LeBron go to the hole right now. There is no real big man in the league. My guy Rudy, that's the best post paint defender in the league. But we all know Rudy, he ain't the strongest guy in the league.
Right.
All right, if LeBron go in the hole in the early 90s, Charles Oakley gonna make him think twice. Elijah Wan, David Robinson.
Maybe, but let's see
Adapt.
who's equipped. Let's see who's better equipped for that situation.
First of all, when you say adapt.
Because everyone's gonna have to adapt to the times they're in. They're gonna adjust accordingly. That's the way of life.
All right, so remember in the early 90s, right? They could put their hand in your jersey.
Mhm.
They can control which way you went. So he's going to play through that. And he's going to finish over top of somebody at the rim. Mind you, this is the same guy when you watch him in the league right now. That the smallest foul, he will stop in the middle of a play. Won't get back on defense to talk to the ref. Because somebody hit his hand. You think he's going to play in that era?
Yeah, he just wouldn't be he's going to have to adapt. He's not going to be able to do that. And he's going to have to get the jump shot.
Hey, look. You don't want to know what's funny about it, though? I was talking about this earlier with my brother, right? So, if you're watching the league this year, right, you see how the league is more physical and everything.
Yeah, James Harden playing like shit ever
And
since
look, where
the
LeBron
foul.
at? Where LeBron at?
He hurt.
Yeah,
Allegedly.
exactly.
He allegedly hurt.
He hurt. It's more physical. He hurt. He hurt. That's why. That's why he wouldn't play in the 90s. He hurt already.
Granted, though, he is old. He's by NBA standards.
I don't want to hear it.
Old as shit.
I don't want to hear it. He's in better shape than Jordan was, and Jordan still, I mean, when he was older, still doing his thing.
When he first left Miami, he had to go back to Cleveland. That nigga ain't play for 2 weeks. He nigga got skinny and shit. Then he got big again all of a sudden. I remember seeing this shit live, bro. When he first came out to Cleveland, he couldn't even dunk.
They said it was
I
South.
seen that shit.
South Beach died.
That paleo died. I remember him saying that bullshit. Man, listen. That nigga couldn't even dunk when he first went back to Cleveland. I seen that shit with my own 2 eyes. I was like, what the fuck? He had that big ass headband on with the fucking bullshit they used to have when they doing the little New Jerseys with the names on the bottom. And shit.
Right.
I remember that. That nigga couldn't even dunk. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, nigga came back doing windmills and shit again. I'm like, something's weird about that. Then that nigga was looking like 50 Cent in that one movie when he had cancer and shit.
For self-destruct or something like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But when you think of the drugs that they take, it's usually for like to gain muscle. It usually doesn't help you jump.
Talking about all the alleged PEDs niggas taking nowadays, because everybody that was just around like 20 and under, and is hooping like from 13 to 20. Nowadays, all these other alleged, not real PEDs, but in performance enhancers or creatine and all that shit. That's why all these dudes are jumping hard, but they still getting hurt fast because they ain't training their body right. They talking about all that type of stuff, right?
Man.
I think it's just a better training regimen in there, and they might be taking some supplements, but all supplements ever did was give them energy.
But you ever heard the phrase, you do something too quick, you gonna end up fucking up?
Yeah.
These dudes are developing a little too fast sometimes. That's why they don't learn how to play basketball, and they get hurt so damn fast. Example, Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose was a great player, very athletic, but unlike Westbrook, Derrick Rose had to slow the fuck down, and he got hurt so much, so he learned how to play. It took him a while, but he learned how to play basketball. Westbrook, his low IQ self, he is very athletic. He's basically Allen Iverson 2.0, but jumps higher, is bigger, faster, stronger, whatever.
I got news for you. If Russell Westbrook's athleticism ever leaves him, he'd be unwatchable.
It's getting close.
Yeah, he's gonna be
It's getting
unwatchable.
close. I give him two more seasons.
His jump shot is already not there. If he can't run and jump as high as he used to, he'll be unwatchable.
I give him max 4 seasons left.
Yeah, he'll be unwatchable. Like, I mean, the only reason why Derrick Rose is still able to play, even though he can't run and jump as high as he used to, because he took time to learn how to shoot and see the game, I guess, from a different perspective.
Learn how to hoop.
Westbrook has just been super athletic, been able to jump over people and do whatever. It's kind of almost like, I feel like, I hate to say it, I kind of feel like John Wall is kind of like on the same thing.
Agreed.
If John Wall loses his speed, he's not gonna be that good either.
Because John Wall's jumps has been suspect for a long time, even in his Kentucky days when he was a beast.
Yeah.
Reason they lost that game in the tournament because they couldn't shoot free throws for shit that game.
Yeah, and John Wall, if his speed lead, man, he'll be pointless.
I give him about 7.
John Wall. Let me listen. John Wall got about a season and a half left in those knees.
You might be right.
Yeah,
you might be right.
Yeah, he about a season and a half left.
Yeah, he from the state, but you might be right.
Yeah, he got about a season and a half. I think Westbrook got about 2 seasons left.
Max, I give him 3 or 4.
Yeah, he about 2 seasons.
Yeah, I look at him like he's a young player because it seems like he just hasn't learned the game yet. Like, he just does his thing, and like, you gotta learn how to fit into a system.
Yeah,
like,
he's
even if you
man.
feel like you're the best player.
He's a stat pattern, man.
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah,
my man set the new record for triple doubles and beat all the records. But what does he have to show for it? Stats. He's basically
going home in the first round, if not making the playoffs.
He's LeBron without championships, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
a short of LeBron without championships, except the way he doesn't know how to win.
You know, he reminds me of Hancock. Just like he flies in and breaks the floor. Might save one guy but destroy the rest of the village.
I'm gonna put your head in his ass.
That's my
He's
move
been doing
right
that for 15 years.
Call me asshole one more time.
That's probably my favorite Will Smith movie. Real talk.
But his girl's out there. His girl's. We're not gonna talk about
Nah,
that.
his girl
This
for the
isn't a red
streets.
table.
Nah, his girl for the streets, man. Allegedly, he put out a memoir recently, and he said he wished. I don't know if this is accurate, so this might be granted salt.
Wait, Will's talking about it?
Apparently, he has a new memoir out, and he said he just wished his girl could love him like Tupac.
Oh,
Like she
that's sad.
look at him like she looks at Tupac or something like that. I could be wrong though.
That's sad, man.
That might be.
I don't want to hear that.
That's
You know
sad.
what, bruh? If I was Will, she's been talking out a lot lately, like about shit she has no business. Like, bitch, fuck up, yo.
She need to be evaluated, man. Something's definitely going on.
For real. I don't know what's going on. Like I said, we don't know what's going on in their household, but
Yeah, she need to be evaluated.
Hey, as they say, when they cheat, they haven't been cheating that one day. It's been building up for a long time. It's not like, oh, she just went out one night and decided to go fuck another nigga. No. That's been building up for about 3 months. She probably been fucking other niggas for 3 months. She just caught her.
Yeah.
right. Willow.
Jada, why don't you love me? Oh my God. I'm the Fresh Prince of LA. Whoa. Oh. Why would you look at me like Tupac used to look at? Oh.
Why would you say that, bro? Like, why would you making us sad for you, nigga?
Yeah.
Like,
Niggas a simp.
you a whole millionaire. Get yourself together, bro. Just be like, hey,
Man, just because that nigga got money don't mean he happy and know how to treat bitches. Or
Right,
women,
like,
or whatever
whoa.
you call Jada. I don't know, girl, woman, I don't know.
Whatever happened between them and Will needs to sit down at not at the red table, at home.
He already
and
sat
be
down
like,
at the red table. He was crying. I had to watch that episode. I was like, I had to just. So many people talk about that shit, bro. I was like, all right. I'm like, damn. Nigga, the Ross was red, nigga was crying at the table, bro.
Damn.
Like I said, she about 40, 50. Said she don't know how to love. Like, damn. You don't know how to love 50 then? Shit, what the fuck are we doing here? Business. Business. That's why. It doesn't make sense business-wise in the divorce, so they won't. It's a different type of ball game. See, when you at that level and you have a corporate merger, aka marriage, it's not beneficial to divorce because the brand gets messed up now. Because they built their brand as the Smiths, a alleged big happy family with him, his wife, and 2 children. Well, he has another child by another wife, another girl, but the brand wise, it's them 2 and their 2 children. You break up or divorce, the brand, it doesn't look as profitable. Not mean you ain't gonna be able to make money, but the brand gets messed up. So now you have to figure out, all right, I've been marketed as a big happy family for a long time. Now I'm marketed as a quote unquote typical couple nowadays, divorce with kids. Except the difference is they just have a lot more money. Don't mean they're happier or sadder, they just have a lot more money to work with. So at the end of the day, what you gonna do?
You gotta fight for your. If you will, you gotta fight for your happiness. Or Jada, even if she feels like she's in some type of situation, you gotta fight for your happiness, bro. You don't need to lock yourself in with this woman who clearly is like having an issue with you. Like, you just gotta either you sit down, like I said, and just like whatever happened between us, can we kind of squash this motherfucker right here? You don't have to go on television talking about all this bullshit. Talk to me. And let's either grow up and kind of like go like this, or shit. You feel me?
I mean, but however, they're older now. But let's say if their kids were younger, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially when you got money going into our relationship, bruh. You're gonna have to think a little twice. Now, granted, Will's also a simp, so that don't. Or even if or
Wait, what does that mean? Explain
Yeah, I've been
what
saying
that's
that all the
supposed to
time.
mean.
Now, what is that?
It's a bitch ass nigga. It's basically what it is. It's basically you say somebody you can walk all over, somebody who isn't strong, is weak minded.
We don't know all that about Will. Will wouldn't have got there if he was weak minded, bro. He might have some issues taking control of his relationship, but I mean,
It's a bitch ass nigga. Regardless.
yeah, I agree. Like sometimes you gotta bark. Like if you speak out about me once on national television, that conversation's coming probably after the show, or I might come to the show.
I don't know. It's hard to say, man. You know, usually the downfall for most men is a woman. Like it's kind of like
Oh,
like
that's
a
a
weakness or
fact.
something.
That's historically that's a fact.
Hey, look, that's even in comics and stuff like that. You know,
Historically.
Hulk and Superman and all them like was a woman, man.
Every time.
Oh, so
No,
but he's basically saying that our heroes are simps.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If you want to look at it that way, sure. All right, Superman basically.
Simp man, simp man.
Yo, his regular person is Clark Kent. Batman's regular Clark Kent is not regular. Regular person is fucking Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne got hoes and is a billionaire. Clark Kent is a nerdy ass nigga that works at a newspaper fucking place.
Right.
Spider-Man, Peter Parker, simp ass nigga, works at a fucking newspaper corporation and gets bullied around by
what was his girl name? I forgot the girl name.
Mary Jane.
Hey, Mary Jane.
Yeah.
Not the blunt roll, but
then the Hulk was what was his girl name?
well, I'm gonna just take whatever from the Marvel movies because I don't know the Hulk like that. Black Widow,
Yeah.
Bruce, aka Bruce Banner, simp too. that nigga can grow to like a giant, but he's a fucking simp.
If a bitch rub him on the shoulder, all the power go.
Basically, that nigga can't even control. Yeah, they can't control himself. That's a simp. Like what?
Yeah. I mean,
Soft spoken, bitch ass nigga. The Hulk.
I mean, even back to, I mean, I don't know how much y'all know, but even back like, I guess in biblical times, man. Remember Samson? You know, with the long
Not
hair.
too familiar with.
Yeah, you know, the lady.
I say, break it down for us.
All right, I put it like this: Adam and Eve.
Oh yeah,
See, you remember that? It was still a woman. Like
Adam was a simp in that situation. He overcame.
I mean, either way.
The serpent got to eat him through Eve. That's why when women call themselves Eve nowadays, I get very skeptical. Like, oh, you want me to bow down to you and worship you? No, nah, we not doing that on this side. I'm not about to eat your fruit because that shit is tainted. You call yourself Eve, quote unquote. No,
Right.
Yeah.
you're not doing that.
And the way like that, I got the kids version. Like this is way back. I got the kids version that was like, Adam right here. Eve comes into the picture out of nowhere, by the way, and like she goes up to the tree and like there's a whole bunch of fruit everywhere. Like apparently, and I think there was like that type of fruit just in other places, but it just said don't eat it. That tree. But for some reason, that tree got a hold of him. It's like, what the fuck? Like, there's apples over there too. Yeah. There are apples over there. Man.
For some odd reason, the tree that you're not supposed to get, she wanted to grab the shit and gave it to who? Her quote unquote husband, and killed them. He gave her his rib. And all she had to show for it was giving him a tainted apple from the serpent and killed him.
Punk ass apple pie.
Now, if that doesn't tell you how women are in a nutshell,
I just think that's what happened in that scenario. That happens to motherfuckers if they're not if they avoid their simp tendencies, because we all have them.
I put it to you this way, man. That's basically the description of how women is an Adam and Eve story, but niggas just don't listen and haven't caught on to it yet. If you want to quote unquote think about it, if you are read up or not read, I'm not that well, but I'll read it and get on reading it someday. Everything you need to know about life is in the Bible, in some shape, form, or fashion. If you know what you read and know what it's talking about, the Bible is just a history book. If you want to break down the layman's terms, if you want to know what's going on in life, how life is, just read the Bible. That's pretty much it. However, that Adam and Eve story, if you look at women today or females today, hoes today, look at what they all want to be like, who they all want to frame themselves as or market themselves as. Wow.
Yeah. The culture loves the culture trying to is cultivating the Eves and making them stronger and making people want to be Eve.
Allegedly,
But
yeah.
there are hoes and there are women just like there are fuck boys and there are men, or how do you say it? Not male, but man or something like that.
Yeah, males and men, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it's fine. But there's also good people everywhere. Just like it's just a needle in a haystack. Yeah. You can find there's a good woman out there, just put in a needle in a haystack.
It's a good nigga out there. Needle in a haystack, because you have to find your nigga. Like, you feel me? Like, yeah, there's a certain type of niggas that you're gonna mesh with, and it's like a needle in a haystack trying to find them. Because a bitch could be a hoe to you, and a loyal is a motherfucker to someone else.
Nah, a hoe gonna be a hoe no matter where she at.
So basically,
I disagree.
So basically,
Just like we're gonna act out if we're not with the person we're with, and we see other women that we might want to be with. Like,
well, men and people in general like having sex and are attracted to bodies in sexual or attracted in a sexual way.
Yeah.
That's why when you try to put men and women in a room together for a long period of time, there's just a certain feeling that's going to get weird because it might be a tension that somebody's feeling that may overtly not be shown, but the vibrations and whatever people want to call it, it just ends up happening. So when you try to break it down, it's just, you can say, oh, she could be a hoe to this guy, but a wife to another guy. No, that's what the other guy may be willing to put up with that whole shit, but at the end of the day, you can't turn hoe to a housewife.
yeah.
And people just gonna be people regardless.
yeah.
So you just have to break it down to a point of, am I going to have my priorities straight and do what I need to do and raise my family right? Or am I going to say, well, I might consider putting up with these hoes all day?
Oh shit.
Just saying, man. Because you have to think of where we at in society right now. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. A lot of crazy shit. We ain't got to speak overtly about what it is, but people know what it is when we talk about it or what we're talking about or leading to. You have people thinking about this way or that way. Right, wrongs, in betweens, whatever. It's a universal.
It's funny that we both know what you're talking about.
It's a universal way or quote unquote right or wrong thing to do, but people gonna do what they want to do anyway. So
No, it's only a right way. It's just right or wrong. There is no
fair. Well, people going.
It was designed to be a certain way until
Yeah, people started doing fuck shit.
Right,
Exactly.
like if you have to get surgery to get to the point where you feel like it's like that saying, if you have to break through something to get somewhere, you're probably not meant to. You feel me? Like, if my door is locked and you break the hinges down to get in there, chances are you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah, but.
Basically, put the key in the door, lock that motherfucker.
I lock that motherfucker.
If it don't open, that mean you ain't supposed to open that door.
Yeah.
You can go to another. However, there's a universal door or way of doing per se, but people will make and do their own choices. I'm not gonna tell you what you should or shouldn't do. That ain't my business.
Right.
You can do what you want. I'm not the dictator, right and wrongs. I ain't.
But you were designed to be one way. You were designed to be one way.
Fair enough. I agree with you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We're designed to be one way, man. It's a reason why you have certain parts and limbs and things. So it's why designed like that.
Yeah. But when we're living in modern day Babylon, people gonna do what they want to do, and that's the times we're in right now. So you do what we do what we have to do as individuals, and we know who we are and how we think. So at the end of the day, we can't give a fuck about what they doing over there. It's crazy as fuck. It's like, oh damn, word, that's what you doing? Oh shit, at least I'm not doing it, so I'm good. All my parts are attached correctly, so I'm good. So, and I don't have no second thoughts about it. However, though, there is a way some people get to being like that, and it's very unfortunate how some of them get that way.
It's fine, but just don't try to force it on society. You know, like if you choose that way of living, just live it.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Force it on us.
Agreed.
That's the ideal situation we would want. Just like you do you, I do me. Now they're doing both. They're doing both of us and the other. And the other sex.
It's a lot more that could be said, but we just keep
Like I
it.
said, I'm pussy, but everybody else has said it enough. So we're just glossing over because it's having become a conversation. So if you don't like it, do what you gotta do. Don't matter to me. We said it. We stand by it. Here's what it is. You want to talk about it? It's on you. But I mean, hey man, it's all funny because we all have goals and dreams like we want to achieve.
Yeah.
And when we're getting to that, and when we're getting to that process, we learn a lot of things. Like I didn't learn how to play basketball until I was like 20. I played for all my life though, because I've been playing basketball longer than I've been doing music.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I had a faster learning curve because I was taught the right way of how to do music earlier because I knew kind of where to go and where to source my information. In basketball, when I was growing up, man, it wasn't on YouTube. It wasn't on Instagram. It wasn't on social media. It was barely cell phones.
Who got you into playing basketball? What player did you see made you want to play basketball at age 20?
Age 20. Shit. All right. So let me go back to when I started age 5. So the main reason I picked up basketball is because me and my dad would go play at this local elementary school park. They had some goals outside. My dad wasn't a basketball player by any means, but he didn't mind taking me or introducing me to sports at all. And at that time, I was a sore loser. I'd always cry when I lose and such because I didn't like losing. But the main player I watched and wanted to kind of model my game after growing up was AI.
Who was yours?
I was a really big Scottie Pippen fan. I know we talked a lot about
Oh, man.
Huge. I don't know. I just like defense. That's what I thought I was like born to like. I'm born to play defense. And I got pretty good at it. That especially the younger. I was able to exploit the younger people. But what about you?
It's tough, man. I really think AI because of his size, but because growing up, I went to Mount Zion. That's the church I went to. Trace McGrady came from Mount Zion. So that was the guy that I wanted to be like, but it was the guy, AI was more realistic because of size.
I feel you,
Yeah, so I probably would say more AI because of AI, he's more, from what I've seen, it seemed to be, AI seemed to be more like one of us. Like he seemed like somebody that could sit in here with one of us and just talk, as opposed to another player. You could kind of tell, like, okay, yeah, he's kind of different. I feel like AI is just like one of the guys, and I think that's why people kind of gravitated towards him because he felt just like
A real, yeah.
Just a regular guy from the streets or
Real nigga.
America.
Real nigga. Well, the thing is about AI's archetype that he played into is he can't grow up as a person now because he had to play into that off the court as well. And now when you see him, it's like, damn, you don't see him out of basketball, some baggy ass clothes on. You don't look at the nigga the same. Like, damn, where AI at? And that's what happens when you kind of market yourself or pigeonhole yourself advertently or inadvertently as quote unquote a real nigga or the guy from the streets that may not want to grow up. You end up not being able to grow up because
I can see what you're saying
evolve.
about that. I mean, another example
Or
of
could it
that
be
is
that he was too authentic? Because I believe 100% without a doubt that was AI. That's just who
I
he
believe
was.
I believe so as well, but I get what he's saying too, cause like, I mean, no disrespect, I kind of look at it like that's what people say about Birdman. Birdman is still Birdman. You see how Master P changed, Jay-Z, all those OGs they changed. Birdman still starting little gangs, Rich Gang and all this shit. He's still starting little encouraging violence, but you see Master P and those guys are more so like business and things like that. So
Well, historically, Birdman's been shaky at business, but also when Master P came out, he branded himself as I do. His deal was the 80-20 deal, the legendary 80-20 deal. So from the gate, he already had a different level of mindset of what he was trying to do with his career. And he also went to the NBA and played at what? And almost played in the NBA. So at that time, but from the jump, you can pretty much see how people are going to, how careers for the most part are going to level out from the jump as soon as you see him and kind of analyze it for a little bit. You see with Lil Wayne, from the most part, when you saw him earlier, like he's gonna be really good one day if he doesn't fuck it up. And you can see from Jay-Z when he first came on the scene, even though we may be a little younger, but he's gonna be nice for a while. Drake, same thing. When he first came on the scene, like he's gonna be he's gonna change some things. Kanye, et cetera, et cetera. So you can see people from pretty much the start of their journey kind of pretty much dictate, they're going to be doing this most likely if they don't mess it up. So how do we all get started as musicians?
I want him to start off.
Yeah.
I just take it back to, I guess you could say, my roots. My father is a musician and a sound engineer, so to speak. He started off all in church. He plays the keyboard, and kind of watching him, setting up mics and different things like that. It kind of started from that, and it kind of grew a little more as I got older. Just being able to actually buy different gear, software, and kind of get into it on my own. Because, I mean, recording choirs and, the preacher is one thing, but the whole creation process of creating a song, it was something, it was different. The first time I ever seen somebody make a beat actually was probably about maybe like 5 years ago. And I thought it was the most amazing thing ever. They had like a small MIDI keyboard, a laptop, and played a little something on the piano, and I was like, okay, that sounds good. Cause I never knew that you could make a song from a keyboard, drums and all. I didn't know that. And then I seen him. He hit the keyboard and he made a whole beat, the drums, the hi hat, and everything. And I was just like, I didn't know you could create a song, drums with a keyboard. And from there, it kind of just grew. It became very interesting to me to see somebody take, it may start off like that, and then before you know it, you have a whole song. Like it start off just, just it sounds very weird at the beginning because it's trying to get it together, and then before you know it, you have a song, and everybody in the room, their head is bopping. So it's like it started from that, and I just wanted to be a part of it because I'm the type of person that when I start a lot of things, I see the finished product. Like from the beginning, it's kind of like I have barbering, cutting hair in my history. That's what I went to school for that too. So when I used to cut hair, I used to visualize how the haircut is gonna look before I even cut the clippers on. I used to look at the hair. They tell me how they want it, and I know what I can do. Like looking at the hair texture and the outline of the head. Imagine how good I can do it. Like I just feel like some people have better hairlines than others, and it's just like, oh yeah, that shit gonna be sharp.
Yeah, that Paul George hairline.
Yeah, then it's just like some people just be like, man, I ain't really do much with this, but I mean, I gotta cut it because they came in. But like with music, it was like a finished product. It was like, to me, it was endless possibilities because there's different drum patterns, there's different sounds you can use. Like we can play the same thing. You could play it on a keyboard, you could play it on a guitar, and I could play it on a trumpet or so. And it's like it's different, and you can change it. So it was like different, possibilities. Like we could all take the same loop right now, and nobody's gonna have the same drum pattern, so to speak. So it was like it was so much you could do with it, so it became very interesting to me. But long story short, it's pretty much it started like churching with my dad. Really, I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of where it came from.
A lot of musicians, I feel, start like in the church.
That's usually the first time you're really exposed to musicians and sound engineers, because I mean you going to church. I mean, most people, you're going to go to church. You're going to be a part of the choir. You're going to clap your hands. You're going to be a part of something.
Yeah,
Growing up. So you're gonna do something like that. So I kind of think that's kind of where everybody kind of get their start. But I mean, unless you come from a family that does music and karaoke or something, and then that's different too.
Right.
And that's where I technically officially got my first start from, was church choir.
Yeah.
I was doing that for about, I had to put a number on it, maybe 3-4 years, maybe longer than that. I can't remember exactly, but pretty much either every other Sunday or something like that. I don't know if I was good or not, but I was in it.
You can't tell if anybody's good in the choir. So many people.
Yeah, especially I was young. Yeah, and all the young people had to sit in the front.
Yeah, you can't tell if anybody's good. It's just a bunch of voices.
I guess it was just for sport, and some people get solos. I was actually alright singers. It was stand out, but and then my cousin, I would be just hanging around him, and just getting, and of course my dad, and he would play. That's where my music taste palette really came from.
You say you played?
Nah, my dad didn't play much. No, it's just kind of like, I'm talking about the music he played in the car. I could be listening to, he be putting on Lil Wayne's Carter 3 T.I. Urban Legend, and then Funkadelic or something like that, or Ghetto Boys, or Red Method Man's Cal, or Biggie's Ready to Die, or something like that. So, or what's another group he was? More the Technique, something like that. So
That's great.
My dad didn't just listen to rap either. He listened to rock. He listened to all genres because my dad was in the Army. So him being in the Army and being other bases at times, he was in there younger before I even was thought of. But still, he had the palette of listening to every genre. Still does today. And then my mom, she listens to R&B much. She don't listen to rap pretty much at all. She doesn't like rap. So she listens to R&B like Whitney Houston, Alicia Keys, such and such.
Right. It's a lot of legendary names you just threw out there. I think where I started music was probably like the car rides and stuff. My mom would play a lot of, this is gonna seem controversial, but my mom used to play a lot of R. Kelly. I absolutely loved R. Kelly.
Listen, man, R. Kelly was popping for a long time, even apparently as he peed on the little girl.
I mean, he's still a great musician, even though he may not be a great person, though.
Yeah, he was a legendary musician, and he didn't write songs down. He could think of them off the top of his head, playing the keys and all that.
Yeah,
no matter what you say about what he done,
you never be to take away what he created, no matter who he may have been talking about or doing it to.
No matter how much pee he put in people.
Yeah, I mean, it's the music.
The quantity is.
His music is still timeless, though. You still can play that anywhere. I mean, probably people get offended by now. I want you to cut it off, but
yeah.
I mean, they secretly still like it. It's just like a moral thing, I guess.
Right.
They don't want you to play it because they're saying you're supporting him, but you're really not. I mean, he's not getting anything off of it. I don't think it's not anything he can use. I mean, he's a criminal. He probably has a limit of $60 like the rest of them. So it's not like he's getting a lot of anything on his book. So
Oh shit. He used the word criminal.
But yeah, so I still listen to R. Kelly, man.
Hey, man.
I hope he's free one day.
I'm a flirt.
I mean, it was wrong what he did. I mean, are we allowed to talk about it? 'Cause, yeah, it was wrong what he did. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and act like, I mean, those victims, they didn't deserve what he, did, and those. But I still feel like he got what he deserved. But I don't feel like
allegedly.
I don't feel like everybody involved got what they deserve. Because I do feel like the only reason why it came to that was because his money dried up. Because those parents knew. I feel like it was more so. It wasn't R. Kelly, just R. Kelly. I feel like it was more so. If you really look at it, we're like, I'm about to say something controversial. I feel like it was a prostitution ring. Because those were young kids. And I feel like because they were making money from him at the time to stay quiet, you were really prostituting their daughters and things like that. But I feel like when it came to the point where he didn't want to pay anymore or couldn't pay anymore, I feel like that's when they started to tell on him.
And the timing of the Me Too movement and all that stuff's coming out too. Because if you look at it from a standpoint of another standpoint, he didn't force none of those women to be there. If they wanted to walk out, the door was right there. However,
but he was wrong, though. I'll say that again. He was wrong.
Yeah, still.
I'm not saying he wasn't wrong. I'm saying when you look at it, I feel like if those parents knew, if he was messing with 14-year-old girls, whatever the age was, and you're gonna wait until they're 28 to say, yeah, we knew about it, but we just didn't say anything. I still feel like they only came forward because of the money. I mean, it's just the simplest way to put it. I feel like you failed your child. They failed their kids. You put them in that position. First of all, like, I don't even know how they were. How is your 14-year-old daughter gone and you didn't know where they were at, for one? Right. And then it's like, why were they at an R. Kelly concert? Because if it wasn't him, it could have been somebody else there that probably was older. So, and then I think, like I said, that investigation. I mean, how in the hell? How was they getting past security at 14 years old? I mean, he used fake IDs, but then I think that you have to look into that. Like, what type of security? How are they getting backstage? How are they getting to his house? Like, it's so much more I think you really can look at. And I think he took the fall because he was a superstar. But I think individual parents and people who gave him backstage passes and, I mean, who introduced them to R. Kelly? Like, it's more than them just going to his show. Like, because I'm pretty sure a lot of women went to his shows, but they didn't end up with R. Kelly. It was probably some other young girls who went to the show. They probably ended up with him. But the ones that ended up, how did they end up there? Who introduced them to R. Kelly and said, this is the one right here that you probably got a chance with, or you can do something with right here?
Usually it was other people's friends, sisters, relatives.
That's what I mean. Because that's why I said, I think they failed those kids because they set them up for that. I mean, what he did was wrong. I'm not saying that what he did is justified because they failed him. What I'm saying is that how does a 14-year-old child in a crowd of 20,000 people make it backstage to meet this superstar and then get in his limousine or meet him somewhere? Or how did they get to the house without the parents knowing? It's a lot that go into it that I feel like they swept under the rug. I just feel like they wanted to crucify him a little bit. But
yeah, he was definitely made an example out of, and also it was the story of some people just trying to get famous and get on as well.
It's no way he acted alone. It's basically what I'm saying. To sum it up, he's wrong, but it's no way he acted alone. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into situations like that because it goes back to upbringing at the end of the day. Who was raising the kids, where their parents coming from, what they trying to gain from a certain situation.
It was money, man. It was money. I know it was money.
Oh, it's always about the dollar. Anything that goes on in the world is about the dollar. It ain't. People don't care about you being safe or being healthy. They want you to keep flowing their false bank accounts and their alleged money supply. That's all they care about, man. Everything about the bag, bro.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it may be some other levels to it, but at the end of the day, it's all about the dollars. The dollar ain't moving, everybody's soothing.
All right, so who's a better music artist, Michael Jackson or R. Kelly?
Shit. Yeah, such a tough one. And they both were like in the same kind of like into the same kind of stuff outside of music.
Allegedly.
Let me think. I think Michael Jackson was probably the most impactful
Michael Jackson was the
artist
greatest performer
ever.
of all time. I don't think you could go to any show and not be entertained. Not just get songs, but I think he was a performer.
Right?
And I
Yeah.
think that's the category Beyonce, she falls into. She's not the best singer. It's not even. She's not the best singer. I just think her shows, her performance, her energy. I think you have a better time at her show. You get the most out of her probably from her shows. But if I had to say, I mean that's tough, man. You can't go wrong with either. I guess unless you have one of those people who think you're morally wrong for giving R. Kelly any type of love for his music or something. But I mean, Michael Jackson or R. Kelly. I think Michael Jackson, man.
Yeah, I'm going with Mike.
I would say Michael Jackson. Yeah, I say Mike. And I mean, I don't know why I say Mike in a sense, but I do know why. But I think Michael Jackson, man. I think Michael Jackson probably appealed to more people. R. Kelly probably appealed to, probably, I'm not gonna say black people, but he probably appealed to a certain age group. I probably feel like more so, probably bigger than that. That sound crazy too. But he probably appealed to a bigger age. I feel like Michael Jackson probably could appeal to anybody. Like I feel like even before R. Kelly troubles, I feel like you could play Michael Jackson at any event. But I don't feel like R. Kelly is kind of tough too, because I mean every cookout I ever went to, we stepped in the name of love and stuff like that. So it's kind of tough to say.
All time like party, wedding,
Yeah, so
cookout song.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to say, but I still feel like Michael Jackson is probably more accepted in different environments than R. Kelly would be. Like I feel like R. Kelly wouldn't be played at a work, social, but I definitely feel like Michael Jackson could be played there. It's kind of like
Yeah, that's 100% right.
it's kind of like Jay-Z. Jay-Z, I mean, he talk hood shit, but at the same time, I feel like you could play Jay-Z at work socials with people with suits and ties on, not just like an average everyday thing, but I feel like those people that work in those skyscrapers, I feel like they could play Jay-Z.
Cause it's all about the content that each of them made too. Now they both had diversifiable content wise and their songs. Like Michael Jackson had songs talking about real stuff. So did R. Kelly. People don't like talk about that much. Obviously today, why they don't. But beforehand, people didn't talk about R. Kelly had some like real songs. People were just talking about fucking bitches all day.
Yeah.
He had some real songs talking about losing people and struggles going on, and where he came from, such and on, and like the I wishes and you saved me. Those are classic R. Kelly records.
Yeah.
But I guess I would go with Michael too, even though I wasn't really that much of a Michael Jackson guy as a kid at all. It's not that I thought he sucked. I just wasn't. I didn't get. I'm not saying I didn't get it. It didn't appeal to me.
I mean, as a child looking at Michael Jackson, I just thought he looked weird, so I stayed away from his music. But as I got older and started listening, to music, I understood that like he probably was the most gifted music artist I think of all time. I feel like he can rock any crowd, any age group. I feel like he has something for everybody. No matter what. Like I feel like you could. Nah, I ain't gonna say that. I'll leave it alone because I was gonna say you can go all the way down to you can leave kids and shit like that out of it. But I feel like you can go to a certain extent. You can go anywhere with his music, even up to nursery homes, and you can play Michael Jackson. So
I was about to say you can go to elementary school play Michael Jackson.
nah, we can't do that.
You about to say? You about to go to a little birthday party, 5-year birthday party, and play Michael Jackson all day with some monkeys.
Stay away from Neverland.
With Bubbles and
Never.
Bubbles and Mike Tyson's Tiger.
Yeah, nah, man. But I mean, I would say Mike though. I think the top 5 greatest music artists of all time. Michael Jackson is one. I think all time. That's tough. I put myself on the spot
Music
too.
artist? So you saying
Just music. I would say. I
that's
mean, even
tough as hell. It's tough to name the top.
Mike is one. I mean, I just think that's like the only unanimous thing. I just think there's no
Right.
one you can put above him,
All right, who's the greatest R&B artist then? We'll go by categories if we can.
male or female.
It don't greatest don't matter.
R&B.
Mm-hmm.
What's R. Kelly?
R&B.
Yeah, R. Kelly. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not the popular thing to say, but I mean, I just think what's Chris Brown?
Damn.
That's pop.
It's about to be fucked up. But if he never hit Rihanna, then his career gets looked at a whole lot different.
Man, I don't care if he did hit Rihanna. I don't think. I mean, I'm not supporting domestic violence either, but I'm just saying. I just don't think. I just don't think.
Hey, he can get hits off and on the mic. It don't matter to me. Shit.
I just think.
I hit an island girl.
I just think, man.
Usher not up there.
Usher. He's not up there with
compare-
Usher. He's not up there with R. Kelly. And
Yeah, if
Chris
you're
Brown.
comparing the two, he's a tier below.
Yeah, he's probably a tier below.
Really? 'Cause
Hell
I
yeah.
like Usher.
Nah, it's not comparable.
Yeah, Usher nice, but he's
It's not
R. Kelly if you
comparable.
gonna rank him.
Yeah, it's not.
All right, yeah, I know below R. Kelly, but
Yeah.
maybe like up there with Chris.
No, it's not close.
All right.
Chris Brown's features on songs is better than some of Usher's like #1 hits. I shit you
I mean,
not.
he did Same Girl. I hope they wasn't talking about the same 14-year-old girl.
Oh, come on, G.
Same girl.
Oh, come on.
She went to elementary school, and now I see her in the middle.
Hey, now Usher like it won't the same girl. Trust me, it wasn't. It was a different girl. He's coming out with the hit next summer. It was
you-
a different girl.
You hope it's not the same girl. You know, at one point in time, they was saying, Usher was getting people herpes, so.
Hey, they got dirt on everybody. Bro.
Yeah, you just can't get away from it. But I would hope it's not the same girl, though. But yeah, Usher's he's probably a step or two below R. Kelly and Chris Brown. To be real with you,
Or two? Damn.
yeah, maybe two.
Chris Brown at one point.
Like you can name his greatest song, Usher's greatest song, or one of his top songs that you like, and Chris Brown has a feature on a song that's probably better. Like
I remember. Nobody fucked with that.
Usher, he's good, but I just think, all right,
That,
So I'ma
not
go on and
talking
say
about
it.
this anyway.
I'ma
but
go
I
on-
just really like Usher.
I'm gonna go on and say it. For me personally, from somebody that I watch come into music and develop, because like I didn't come in and, I mean, Jay-Z was already an artist, I guess, by the time I started really like following music. Beyonce, I mean, but anyway, I think the greatest music artist of my lifetime is Chris Brown. Like you have a hard time finding a project or a song that you're gonna say is trash. Name a trash Chris Brown song. Name a trash Chris Brown album. Name a trash Chris Brown feature. You may not like it more than a female would like it, but I promise you it's not trash. Like I just feel like he's the greatest music artist of my lifetime.
I'm not mad at that at all because he done so much work. It's just damn, he's done so much work.
Yeah,
That's why I can't ever listen to all this music because he just puts so much music out now. It's just like, bro, I'm not about to listen to 50 tracks again. I'm not doing it.
yeah.
I play Heartbreak on the Full Moon and Deluxe, but I'm not about to listen to every album you put as like 40 to 50 tracks. I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I ain't doing
yeah. I think the only artist today that has a career comparable to Chris Brown that I can say I watch come into music and it seems like they're steady climbing no matter how old they get is Drake. Drake,
I disagree.
you think so?
Yeah, because
nigga whispered it too.
It-
That's
it-
how you know he meant it.
It depends on what you like though. Like
before you go on, I haven't heard Drake grow up yet. He has moments, but I haven't heard content wise Drake grow up.
see, it's the opposite for people who like Lil Wayne. And I'm a huge Lil Wayne fan. I think he's the greatest rapper of all time, by the way. I think with Wayne, after Carter 4, really, when he really got into skateboarding and all of that, a lot of people stopped liking him.
Because he was trash after that point.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you said Drake grow up. I feel like Drake, what was he supposed to grow up and start saying? Like Wayne said, what else was he supposed to talk about? He rich now. He done told you his story. I mean, he's skateboarding. He's having fun now. So it's like Drake. What is Drake supposed to rap about? Did Drake ever struggle? I mean, he was a TV star at age 10 when he was on. Was it Degrassi?
Mm-hmm.
Has he ever struggled? He can't talk about nothing now but the shit that he talk about. I mean, he's been a celebrity his whole life. He doesn't know. I mean, do you ever think Drake has ever punched the clock? I mean, I just think he doesn't know what it's like to be regular. So, I mean, I can't really say grow up. Like, I mean, he's just Drake. He's a pop, rap, hip hop, R&B star. It's like he's just that versatile, and you have to break it down like that because he's not either. And I mean, even saying versatile is almost like not even right because usually his songs are pop, it's R&B, or it's rap. You know, so it's like I mean, Drake is another artist I think you could play at any event. I think he has a song for any event that you can throw. A graduation, a wedding, no matter what it is, I think he has a song for it.
Yeah, you might be right about that.
But I mean, as far as grow up, he can't mature a little bit. I mean, he got a kid. He can't talk about being a father at all, and to a certain extent.
I mean,
He has an album called Certified Lover Boy, and he really didn't explore that concept well. I mean, the beats I like the way the production sounds, but content wise, it's just like.
I mean, but what artist grew up that you can name and give me an example though? Because I mean, Jay-Z still talk about hood shit though.
Not really.
He doesn't talk about it as recklessly as he used to because he does realize he is a brand now. Jay-Z is a brand, you know. But he still, I mean, what's the last song Jay-Z released that I can even like listen to and see like what he's talking about? What's the last feature he done? Because I know he's not probably doing music.
It's the one he did one on the Judas and Black Messiah album.
Yeah,
I feel like.
Yeah, but like I said, man, when he started with Reasonable Doubt and where he is now, he may not be talking that street shit like but Jay-Z he's subliminal. He's still talking like street shit.
Yeah, but that's where he come from. But that's not the only thing he says in his music.
Yeah, I mean, but
he talks a lot about. He did have phases of his career where he was talking about black empowerment. He was doing like more business focused, like
he was talking about business in his songs. Yeah, I mean, I must have missed it, like, cause I mean,
there's probably a good mixture of the two.
Reasonable Doubt, from Reasonable Doubt to, I can't think of the other one, to Blueprint. I mean,
In My Lifetime.
Okay, it's all. I mean, it's just Jay-Z. I don't really see growth. I hear voice development. I hear like a difference in like delivery or something. I don't really see like a difference in what he's talking about. Maybe what he's talking about changed a little more. He had a little bit more money, but I mean, I don't see like growth. I mean, I guess I see growth, but not like growth like I don't see from Drake. I mean, not like where it's like recognizable. It's just like, man, he's still talking about the same shit. I mean, Jay-Z kind of still talk about it, but he just talks about it different though. Jay-Z really,
I guess grow in the sense of like talking about more grown up, like not growth as in
I put it like this,
were and where they are now.
Well, I couldn't identify with if Jay-Z talking about growing up to where he is now. I couldn't identify with it.
Nah, that's not.
I'm not a businessman. I mean, like not like Jay. Like I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I couldn't identify with it anyway, so I wouldn't know. But I think Drake is probably the second greatest music artist of my lifetime. I think it's Drake. I mean, Chris Brown, Drake, and I would say Wayne, but like I did listen to Hot Boys, but I put Wayne on there. I think, but Wayne, he's had some trash ass songs.
That's the thing I love about, like, I don't love it about him, but I like this that he's like, you know how you characterize why you liked guys like Kobe more than LeBron. I think he's more entertaining. Just to listen to, even if it's a trash song, you can enjoy
Wayne,
a trash
nah,
song.
like that's my guy. That's the greatest rapper of all time in my opinion, for multiple reasons. But I can't listen to him no more. I can't listen to him no more. And I try, I really do try, cause like, but if I'm gonna listen to Wayne, it's definitely gonna be like 2011 and before. It's nothing that usually if I heard Lil Wayne was on a song, I couldn't wait to download it and listen to it.
Right.
Now I don't listen to it. I don't want to hear it. I hate to say it, I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
That shit has gotten old. I don't want to hear that no more.
Yambula, baby.
Oh, but real quick, bro. I want to know his opinion on something real quick. What do you think about K-Dot?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
He's boring.
Damn. Okay, so what do you think about
J. Cole boring.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I think, and I don't mean boring. I don't mean.
As long as it is.
I mean boring in the sense of like, don't get me wrong, the shit they say is hot. You can listen to it. Like, I mean, I'll listen to them, but they're not. I mean, my only thing is just their delivery. I put it like, if they had the energy that like other artists had, consistent energy. I mean, it's just delivery for me. I can't listen to this shit, man. And I got some J. Cole on my phone, but I don't have a lot of it though.
See, I feel like J. Cole is the boring one.
Yeah,
I
both of them are
thought
boring.
Kendrick was like the passionate, the more like.
He's boring.
I can understand why people say that. Because after Good Kid, Mad City, I can understand why people would say that.
Say what?
Kendrick's boring.
Yeah, he's boring.
I can understand because
He's boring.
even though people love to say, "Oh, the Pimp Butterfly was one of the greatest contributions in music," depends on how is that gonna age and whose ear you talking.
But I give them credit. They are rapping. Their lyrics are on point. It's better than most of the shit that's out now. Like probably 98% of it, 99% of it, what they are saying. It's just something about their delivery. I just can't get into. It's like LeBron. Great player, probably great guy, on and off the court or whatever, however. I just can't get into like the whole delivery. Like I just can't do it.
You know what's interesting about him, bro? He'll bring out something that have really good points, but I passionately disagree with it. You feel me? Like the point be so solid, like, but I just don't agree with you, bro.
Yeah, I can't see how. And I like J. Cole. I just can't. I'm gonna say I like, because I mean that'd be kind of contradicting myself, but like,
No,
I get it. I get like he can rap. When I do listen to him, it's just like, damn, like he's really spitting. Kendrick Lamar too. They really have bars, but it's just like
ain't nobody trying.
it's just like people tell you, what do you think about Jay-Z?
See, I think he's in the boring category.
Exactly. It's just, but he's rapping though. Like he has bars too, but it's just like certain people's like Jay-Z. He's boring to me too, but I'll tolerate his boring for a little bit more, a little longer than I will J. Cole in particular. Like I probably could tolerate Kendrick Lamar a little bit more, but J. Cole is just like I can't do it. Like
Okay, that we can agree on.
cause yeah, Jay-Z he's boring too. But I mean I hate to disrespect them. They great, you know. If I ever get I send them a beat if they want it, but like damn, it's just I just can't do it, man.
Oh man,
Great artist though, just I can't do it.
I understand. I mean, Kendrick Lamar, I definitely have mixed emotions with him. Like when I started listening to him, but when I got into the records, like I was one of the Pimp a Butterfly guys, right? So when I started getting into his records, I thought, wow, this is like a gem we have here. We're not going to hear much like this anymore.
I disagree because everything's a cycle. Everything's a cycle, man, and it's better that can come. But
Sure,
are we gonna see it? I don't know, but it's better that can come. I really think a lot of people really don't give credit to rap and hip hop today like it
So
should.
what do you think about Wale?
Wale is one of the most disappointing. It's one of the most disappointing careers I ever seen.
So what you think
Poke
about
it
Meek
out.
Mill?
No, it's. I don't mean that in a bad way though. I mean that in a way of, I know what he could have done,
Yeah.
but since he got in his own way, he just wasn't able to bring it to another level. Cause Wale, like K. Dot and J. Cole, has a boring tier. However, though, he did do that non-boring shit that made him go up, like the No Hands features, the trap records, and the party records he would do. But he didn't know how to stick with it and complain too much about, oh, and I know people listen to my album, such and such and such and such. Oh, nobody cares about me. Nobody gonna give a fuck about you, my nigga. We want you to hear your music. We don't care about what fuck going on in your life. We wanna hear what you gonna do.
Wale is, I don't know, man.
We might can have a whole episode trying to, or at least a 30-minute tangent on that.
On what, like artists?
Artists like Wale.
Well, let me go back to something real quick. We got to close the show. So, a lot of,
What time?
I don't think people.
Damn, I'm gonna be sleep as hell tomorrow at work.
I don't,
Hey, be 3:30.
I don't think people give credit to, enough credit to artists or the actual rap or hip hop art form like it should, because it's one of the hardest art forms to actually create lyrically, and sometimes, depending on how you make it, musically as well. Lyrically, compared to pop, rock, and all those other genres, the way people bend words and use words in different ways and similes and metaphors and use all the literary devices in certain fashions that other people just don't use it like in other music. Even though some people like to bring knock, oh, rap doesn't tell enough of a story all the time. But at the end of the day, if you just identify it as an art form or a sport, maybe, it is one of the most creative, lyrically types of art forms out there. As far as what people do with the words of acrobat. Now, I'm not saying everything is supposed to be good or everything is good, or the representation is quote unquote the best, but as far as the actual art form and lyricism, when the professionals are doing it and representing and doing it correct, it's one of the greatest.
Like
form.
like Wayne said, rap is a form of art, and he also said rap is a form of news. It is a way of keeping people informed. It is a way of spreading knowledge and all of that. So, I mean, yeah, you're right, but I mean, still, man, people still can fuck it up for other people so bad, man.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like what's going on right now, I agree with you, but it's still a misrepresentation on the art form.
So we can end it with this right here. Who's the worst rapper that you can think of, like that? And I mean,
Big Sean.
I would. I hate Big Sean.
Kane said on his drink shit.
So worst decision he ever made.
It's not a big shit.
Hey, remember what I said way back?
Yo, this dude said he thought Big Sean was the one of the rappers that should have never made it.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think his delivery was there. I think he was too monotone. And
he talked through the shit. Like, I don't want to hear that.
I heard he used to freestyle on his records in the beginning. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but it makes sense when you hear some of his earlier music.
It's hard to say worst rapper though, because I feel like I feel like it's so much bad shit out there now. It's hard to say worst though. Like right now, the worst artist is probably poppin' rapper. That shit is so hard to pick one. But I mean, if I had to say worst rapper,
Yo Gotti, Birdman.
they all on that list though. They all on that list. But fuck.
The only thing stopping me from putting Nipsey up there. I like Nipsey. I like some of it.
Nipsey was better than what people think.
But I feel like sometimes since people die early, they overrate them a little bit.
Oh man, I ain't finna do it. I was finna say something. I ain't gonna do it.
Just I don't even mean no malice, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
some people.
Hey, well, if we say that, then I think Big and Pac fell into that category, man.
I would say so, but the thing about them is
He fell into
what
that category.
what they did at an early. That's what this is the argument people will give, which it can make sense, what you may not agree with. What they did at an earlier age and what they were talking about and how they were doing it at the early age they did it, mean they still had room to grow.
What about King Von then?
Hold on, I'm gonna get to that in a second. Tupac was putting out some of his best work when he died, so we don't know how. Because I even said Tupac earlier, albums was really all that good. He had some great classic songs, but his albums, body work wise, it wasn't all that good. When he started putting out Me Against the World, and if you want to put that, you can take and leave that in lower tier. But All Eyes on Me and Machiavelli, those two albums right there, technically 3 if you count the double album with All Eyes on Me, that was his best work. And imagine what he was going to do beyond that. Biggie, same thing. He was maturing as an artist on Life After Death, but like for records like Sky's the Limit. But we didn't get to see where he was going to take it because they both got killed. That's why they get overrated. But they were so great that they get held as legends because they were the best at their time when they died.
Listen,
but I understand why people say, "Oh, they're overrated."
I hear you, man, but like,
I get it. Like I said, I get it. I get why some.
I
people
think
say that.
for me personally, if I had to pick between who was the best between those two, I probably would say Pac though. I like his delivery a little bit better than Biggie. But
he had a stronger presence.
Biggie was controversial though, man. Like I heard one of his songs in particular. I really can't rock with him like that, man. All right, fuck it. All right, his song, I think it's called "Me and My Bitch." I think that's what it's called. I can't do it, man.
But he's a fat weird nigga. Like,
You hear what he said though, right? You know what I'm talking about. What verse I'm talking about.
That was some very suspect bar.
All right, and then his other bar and remember his song in "What's Beef"? Remember what he said in there?
I can't remember. But
He said, "Don't you know my nigga gutter kidnap kids, fuck them in their ass and throw them over a bridge." Come on now.
yeah, okay.
some niggas was really doing shit like that, but I get what you're saying.
But come on, he said, "Don't you know my nigga gutter kidnap kids?" I mean, that's all street and whatever. But then when you say, "Do that to him," and then throw him over a bridge, come on, man. Come on, man.
Like what he say? See it as art. He painted a picture.
Yeah, I ain't want that one though.
Yeah, but what you saying about King Von?
King Von. How good of a rapper do you think King Von was?
I only listened to that one album right before he died, so I cannot make a valid statement on that claim.
For me personally, I think of all the young artists that was out at that time, especially over like even a little bit before and even after him, I feel like King Von probably lyrically was better than everybody out right now that's in that age group. That I think he like. You listen to King Von?
Very little.
All right, so
I like
I mean,
Lil Baby,
I'm just saying though. I feel like him as from if you listen to his songs, the story, the way he can tell it, and that picture he can paint for you. I feel like, like we said, die early. I feel like he could have been something though. That's pretty much
Same as even though people may not like what he was doing or what really did, Triple X, Tentacion, what it seemed like he was going to do.
Yeah, people was calling him like modern day Tupac type.
As far as musically, that would have been interesting to see just where he was going to take what he was trying to do musically. I don't know how good it would have been.
I don't know. I don't know one song. I know one. And what's crazy about that shit about him? The first time I ever heard one of his songs was like on a playlist I had playing one day. I was at work, and I was like, "That shit sound alright." And then like I think by the time I got home, that was the day he died. Like the first time I listened to him was like the day he died. That was crazy. But I only know that song, and I don't even know the name of it. It was an okay song. Then the song he got on, I think Lil Wayne's album or something like that. Don't Cry. I can't remember what it was.
That was it.
Yeah, that was it. Those are the only songs I know about him. But I hear that he was a pretty good artist, and I mean, I just haven't taken time to listen to him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but from what I did hear from King Von, though, to your point, I was watching an interview he did on the podcast, and people were saying he was really nice, and the storytelling was really
When you
like
listen to
that.
his songs, it's almost like when the song ends, it's just like he have to do a part two to every song that he was telling, because you would get that much into it. I felt like he could really. I feel like he could write a script for a movie, the way he was rapping, because it would paint that type of picture, um, in your mind. So that's why I said. I mean, I think he was up there, but definitely, man.
It just goes back to environments where you're raised at and who you being around, man. Is some people may not get a first chance, long knows a second. So
Some people don't know how to leave that environment. You seen what Chief Keef did? He got
yeah,
the fuck out of town.
yeah. Some people may not be able to afford it though either.
Yeah,
You
but
know, a lot of rappers don't got money that they say they ain't got.
yeah, I mean, I think they can get it though. If I, if I can, I mean, if I can come from where I'm from and afford to move to Raleigh, making not that much, I think an artist with a song on the billboards, I think they can afford to get out of somewhere and move somewhere else though.
You'll be surprised how many of them ain't got nothing from them checks.
I get it, but I mean,
They got more resources than at least
yeah,
you
I
and
mean,
I might have right now.
I mean, I believe. I mean, I just
they
look at it
care
like
about
this too. I think
Do they care about them though?
I think a leasing agency, if that's what they have to go through, or if they trying to buy something, I think they can write an IOU letter or something. Cause I just think, I mean, they ain't gonna take it from me, but I think from an artist in the industry, I think they would take it from them. I mean, I would think so. I mean, cause you expect somebody with that type of like buzz to like blow up, but I don't know. Worst artists right now. It's very. I mean, it's a lot of trash out there, man.
There'll be another day for another trash can to be filled by another artist. However, if you like this podcast, we appreciate you. In the morning, noon, and night, whenever you listen to this, we appreciate you. This is 2.5 LLCs podcast. And if you're listening to this right now, we thank you. And if you want to find us, listen to us, you can follow us on Instagram at 212 LLCs pod and 2 space 1/2 LLCs podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and YouTube. If you want to reach me, my name is Retro Dre, RETRODR.E on Instagram, Retro Dre _ on Twitter, and Retro Soundwave Media on Twitter as well. And if you want to see some of my content, check out my YouTube channel or check out my website as well. It's Retro Dre, RETROD.R.E for my YouTube, and website retrosoundwavemedia.com. You can get my services and you can see what I've done already. Fellas, I appreciate y'all for being here.
Yes,
and
sir.
we appreciate AMI Studios for giving us home for this podcast. And y'all go ahead and do your outros, man.
Carter Boy 2521 signing off. Give me a follow.
You can follow me on Instagram, young_Pluto08.
That's the Facebook.
Yeah. And you can catch me on the podcast from usually on Sundays today as well. You can catch us on Fridays. Maybe it's a new thing.
We'll figure out something like that. Yeah.
And he hits me with the classes. We'll talk about it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I might be on the Christmas album.
Christmas album / single coming out soon. And we appreciate y'all, man. This is episode number 7, 6, whatever one of those numbers is supposed to be right. And we out of here, man. Good talk, guys.
Yep.
Let's get it.